No doubt, the reason why the Trans-Pacific Partnership, or TPP, has been such a big priority for the NCBA is because it holds great potential for U.S. cattlemen and cattlewomen. And Kevin, let's talk about why TPP is so important for the U.S. beef cattle industry.
Sure, Russell. The reason TPP is so important for the cattle and beef industry is that the 12 nations, of which the U.S. is one of the 12 nations, that are a part of TPP represent 40% of the world's economic output. That is a big deal. So if we get TPP passed and have a level playing field, we'll be winners. And in addition, Japan is our #1 export destination for beef in the world. Over the past 2 years, it represents close to $3 billion of U.S. beef going over there. So Japan's our biggest target of TPP and is a part of it. And so it all plays into being a huge part of the success for our future.
Absolutely. You concur, Jack?
Most definitely, and Kevin had alluded to probably one of the most important components. We look at Japan and that being at the top of the mark for the United States right now and our #1 export partner. But the other big benefit we have with a successful TPP agreement is hopefully having the ability to have a productive negotiation with China. And by being a part of TPP, we'll be on the front end of that, and with those other countries that are all joined in unison going forward. Absent a TPP agreement, I fear we could be left out alone. Those countries may move forward. Hard to say what they would think of the United States and our abilities to negotiate agreements into the future. So I think the timing is critical, and we need TPP now. We can't afford to wait.
Yeah, very well said. Of course, the Australians have a trade agreement with Japan already. And Missy, has their agreement impacted our ability to compete for their consumers?
It has, because prior to this agreement, Australia and the United States had the same tariffs. Well, now their tariffs have started to be reduced. And last year, their tariffs, instead of being at 38.5% like ours are, theirs were at a little over 30%. And they're planning on reducing those to where they will be a little under 20% by 2020. So going forward, we're going to continue to lose market share in the Japanese market if we don't get back onto an equal playing field with Australia.
So Kevin, let me ask you this. If Australia can have a bilateral agreement with Japan, why doesn't the United States just negotiate a bilateral agreement with them as well?
Well, that's a good question. And the answer is it takes years and years to negotiate successfully even a bilateral trade agreement. So to the points that have already been stated, we don't have the time to spend 10 years negotiating with Japan and maybe not even coming up with an agreement. So just in the last 6 to 8 months, we've lost hundreds of millions of dollars in market share in Japan to Australia because of that big, huge price difference in tariff rates. And so that will just keep getting wider and wider, and we'll lose more and more market share, and it's going to kill us.
I'd like to reiterate something that Kevin just said as far as having years of getting these negotiations going. Also, in the live cattle exports, it takes years to negotiate a health protocol. And TPP stands to pave the way to open some markets that we currently aren't open with right now, especially in Asia, not just Japan, Malaysia, Indonesia, some of these other markets that are very big, upcoming middle-class economies that want good grain-fed beef. The Australians export 65% of their live cattle. Those aren't grain-fed. We've got a product that these consumers want. TPP will level this playing field, get these tariffs right so that we can get into markets that we're not in right now.
Russell, an important thing to build on that is right now, and it's what we've seen for a number of years, the U.S. Meat Export Federation, the USMEF, is working diligently on our behalf every day in these countries trying to expand U.S. opportunities. I recently had an opportunity to visit with a group of producers from South Korea. They want to know how the USMEF works. They see that as a very effective tool in the Korean marketplace. I think given the infrastructure that we have, the great team we have working at U.S. Meat Export Federation, coupled with the Trans-Pacific Partnership, we could see huge increases in opportunities for our industry moving forward.
All right, thanks a lot, Jack, for the comments. Don't go anywhere because our panel of experts will have more insights on the Trans-Pacific Partnership when we come back. Stay with us.